friends, welcome to my channel. So in the today's lecture we are going to discuss the remaining fields of TCP header. So these are the three fields we are going to study in this video. First one is advertisement window size, second one is urgent pointer, and third is options field. So now firstly let's discuss what is advertisement window size. Okay, so when sender and receiver are going to establish a connection, when sender and receiver, before transmitting the actual data, firstly they will establish a connection. Let's suppose this is a sender, this is a receiver. Okay, so we have basically three steps. First one is connection establishment. This is the first way to, okay, so this is the first step. Connection establishment is the first step. The second step is transferring your actual data. Data transfer. This is the second step. And the third step is connection termination. Connection termination. The third step is connection termination. So when sender and receiver are going to establish a connection, they are just trying to know each other. What they will do, they will be defining the advertisement window size. What does advertisement window size means? That advertisement window size means how many number of segments, your sender can store in its buffer. That is basically our advertisement window size. How much number of segments you are going to store in it. Okay, this is actually kind of a buffer. Both sender and receiver have some buffer in which all of your packets which other party is sending going to be remain saved. Okay, so when sender is sending some messages, or you can call it as a packets or segments to the receiver. Okay, when sender will send some segments to the receiver, all that segments are going to be stored in a buffer. We call it as the advertisement window size. How many packets your buffer can store, how many number of segments your buffer can store, that is actually our advertisement window size. Okay, we also have a size of segment. Okay, let's suppose the maximum segment size is 10 KB. Okay, the size of one segment is 10 KB, and the window size, the advertisement window size is basically 100 KB. Okay, window is nothing but a buffer which is going to store your segments. Okay, so if your window size is 100 KB, then how many number of segments your window is going to store? So the total number of segments are, which your window is going to store is 100 by 10. Okay, the one segment size is 10 KB. Okay, so 10. So your window is going to store 10 segments. Okay, so that is actually our advertisement window size. Both of your sender and receiver has some window size. KB. Okay, so sender would send data according to the capacity of the receiver. Okay, if sender doesn't know that the capacity of the receiver is 100 KB, then what sender would do? Sender is going to keep on sending more and more number of packets to the receiver. Then it is going to be really overloaded. Okay, so what we have to do then? We have to discard all of those packets and we have to retransmit the discarded packets at the later point of time. So that's why when they establish connection, both sender and receiver exchange with each other their advertisement window size, their buffer storage capacity, so that they could send the data according to the capacity of the other party, so that we could reduce the total number of discarding packets, so that we could handle the flow control. So this was the real purpose of using advertisement window size in TCP header. Okay. Now let's discuss what is urgent pointer. When in the last video we discussed various fields like urgent field, which is actually a 1-bit field. If you set urgent field to 1, what does it mean? It means that you have some urgent data present within your message. Okay, urgent bit 1 means you have some urgent data present in your message which you want to be reached at the destination at the highest priority. Okay, we discussed this field in the last video. So urgent pointer means you have some urgent data which you want to reach at the destination at the highest priority. So what does urgent pointer means? This field urgent pointer is going to save how many bits you have urgent in your data. Okay, how many bits are urgent. So urgent pointer says how many bits of your message are urgent which you want to be reached at the highest priority to the destination. So it tells the total number of bytes of data which is urgent. Okay, so let's suppose if you have 100 bytes. If you are storing 100 value in the urgent pointer field, what does it mean? That the 100 bytes of your data is urgent. Okay, 100 bytes of your data is urgent. So let's suppose the segment size is 200 bytes and the sequence number lies in the range from 200 to 399. Okay, and what our urgent pointer says? Urgent pointer says that we have 100 bytes of urgent data. Okay, urgent pointer says we have 100 bytes of urgent data. So how you will calculate that in the entire segment? How much data urgent we have? 200, the starting sequence number plus 100. Okay, 100 bytes of data is urgent. 200 plus 100. So from 200 to 300, this data, this part of your segment is urgent. It will be reaching to the destination at the highest priority. Okay, urgent pointer basically says that how much data you have urgent. That data, that urgent data will be reaching to the destination at the highest priority than the remaining data. So this is actually our urgent pointer. Now let's discuss what is options field. So now let's discuss what is the purpose of using options field. Okay, now let's discuss what is options field. The first use of option fields is header length. Okay, the first use of options field is in header length. When you have to do padding of bits, when your size of header is not divisible by 4. Okay, in this case the size of your header is not divisible by 4. So what you have to do? You have to pad 2 bytes of data in the size of header to make it 36 so that it could be divisible by 4. Okay, so this is actually padding of bits, padding of extra dummy bits. So this is actually, we can use it in the option field. So this is the first use where you can use the options field. The second thing where we can use option fields is to extend the advertisement window size. To extend advertisement window size. So, if you looked at the advertisement window size is basically of 16 bits. Okay, and with the help of 16 bits, what is the maximum bytes you can store? 2 raised to power 16 minus 1 bytes of data can be actually stored. Okay, but in some case, if you want to store, if your buffer size is bigger than this total number of bytes you are getting, so it is actually 65535. It is approximately, the value is 65535. Okay, but in case if your advertisement window size is more than this, then what you have to do? You have to increase the total number of bits of the advertisement window size. So what you can do? You can make use of the options field. You can get some of the bits of the options field. Okay. So in that case, if we have to extend the advertisement window size, we can make use of the options field. So the third point where we can use option fields is, if you looked at the TCP header, we had an advertisement window size, but there was no field of the maximum segment size. There was no field of maximum segment size. Okay, there was no field of maximum segment size. So if you have, when sender and receiver are going to establish a connection with each other, so they need to define that what is your segment size, what is your one packet size. Advertisement window size is total number of packets you can keep in your buffer. And what is the maximum size? Segment size. Segment size is size of your packet. We also need to know that. But in TCP header, there is no field for the segment size. Okay. So options field we can use to define the maximum segment size when sender and receiver are going to establish a connection with each other. Okay. So this way we can make use of options field. So this is my email ID, creativeeducation2110@gmail.com. So if you have any query, you can contact me on this email ID, and I have mentioned the same email ID in the description box. Okay. So thank you so much for watching my video. If you like my video, please like, share and subscribe my channel.